Taraxa, the perfect investment if your target is to
lose 98%.
That's what happened in less than 2 years. But it's not the entire story. We also went up by 700%. I have recently made a video on the fundamentals of Taraxa, as in token distribution, supply dilution, technology and scalability, as in Taraxa using a DAG. And of course, the ecosystem matters, Taraxa Echo and Taraxa Hype, just mentioning 2 of the decentralized apps. But here's the problem with just looking at the fundamentals. The fundamentals did not change by 98% in 2 years. I understand staying in Bitcoin when it's down 60 or 70%, but I don't understand staying in an altcoin when it's down 98%. Nobody knows if an altcoin will survive. Nobody knows if the competition will heat up. And so this video is not about Taraxa's fundamentals. Instead, we will discuss how to time the market, how to be out of Taraxa when it tends to go down, and how to be in Taraxa, how to bet on rising prices when the momentum is rather bullish. And the market timing strategy that we're going to discuss in this video outperformed buying and holding Taraxa massively, simply because Taraxa is so volatile. So what we see here in white is the Taraxa price over time, right? It went down a lot. What we see in turquoise is the back-tested strategy. And that strategy isn't even complicated. It's very straightforward. The strategy is simply to use moving averages, to use the best moving averages, because just using a random moving average isn't likely going to cut it, right? We want to know what moving average worked the best in the past, and then we can imply, if psychology doesn't change that much over time, that the signals might be working similarly well in the future. That's the assumption. So instead of just taking randomly, say, the 50-day moving average, which is here, or the 30-day moving average, or the 10-day moving average, we can actually find out what worked the best in the past. So the idea is straightforward. We want to be in the market whenever the price is above the moving average. We want to be betting on falling prices whenever the price is below the moving average. So we are following the trend. So in this chart with the 50-day moving average, we would be betting on falling prices over here. And once we cross the moving average, once we close a day, UTC time zone midnight, once we close a day above, we bet on rising prices and take this entire rally with us. But the question is the 50-day really the best here? Or should we generate these signals maybe with the 30-day or whatever it is? That's why we need to use statistics to take out this very arbitrary decision and to make this more objective. This is the Excel sheet of the backtest. It starts with data from March of 2021 all the way to today. And we've got a little macro over here, and we can set a few parameters. What's our initial starting capital? What's our trading fee? I set 0.2 over here. That's more or less typical for decentralized exchanges. And then we can run the calculations with the click of a button. So now the macro is running and is calculating based on the duration of the moving average. What would the trading strategy of buying above and selling below the moving average, what would that strategy have resulted over the entirety of the lifetime of Taraxa? What would be the annualized performance based on that? It takes a while to calculate all of this because I'm now backtesting all the moving averages from the 2-day all the way to the 52-day moving average. And we are done. Buying and holding would have given us annualized minus 36%. But if we sometimes bet on falling prices, we can get very nice positive returns. Look at this, the 21-day exponential moving average, 719% annualized per annum. Or over here, the 44-day simple moving average, annualized 780%. And we can look at this in chart form as well. That's over here. So on the x-axis, we've got the duration of the moving average. And on the y-axis, we've got the annualized performance. And note how pretty much any moving average here vastly outperforms buying and holding, because buying and holding would have pretty much given us nothing, right? We went down most of the time in Taraxa. So let's draw those two moving averages. 26 EMA, so over here, and 44 SMA, simple moving average. And there we go. This is the chart with the best moving averages. This is where we should have bet on falling prices. This is then on the 27th of December 2022. We should have bet on rising prices. Sometimes we've got our fake outs, right, where we sell low and then buy back high again. But that's why we do the backtest, right? We want to find out historically what worked the best. And currently, unfortunately, the price is below both moving averages. So we'd have to cross 0.51 cents to be neutral, right? To be between those two moving averages. If we want to turn bullish, we have to be above 0.56 cents. So another rally of 13%. Currently, if we use this market timing strategy, which works really, really well, right? We should not be in Taraxa. Now, the reason why I like this strategy so much is because of the following. It tends to work really well across different assets. So this is not just something that works for Taraxa, but it works for many, many cryptocurrencies. That's reason number one. Reason number two is it tends to work for a lot of different durations of moving averages. So you don't necessarily have to pick the one moving average that outperforms. You can take pretty much any moving average. This whole back test, so simulation of buying and selling, is simply just an exercise to optimize this. So in general, it seems to be right to follow the trend in crypto. When something already went up, it does make sense to buy in as well. If something tends to go down, it makes sense to sell. It does make sense to follow the trend and to not always bet against the trend. At least if your target is to not temporarily lose 98% from the top. Let me know what backtest I should do next. Simply join our Telegram. It's completely free. As a paid membership as well, where I share my trades, but here this Telegram is free. Link is down below.